Harper Perennial and HarperAudio present The Fires of Jubilee, Nat Turner's Fierce Rebellion, by Stephen B. Oates, read by Ryan Vincent Anderson. At this moment, I saw more clearly than ever the brutalizing effects of slavery upon both slave and slave owner. Frederick Douglass. If our work has any final value, that value must depend very largely on our ability to see the essential truth beyond the darkness and the error, to perform the historian's difficult task, not only with the historian's competence, but also with the skill, the insight, and the demanding conscience of the literary artist. Bruce Catton. Forward to the Perennial Library Edition. He is the most famous slave insurgent in American history, the victim of a violent system who struck back with retributive violence. His rebellion illustrates a profound truth. As Lerone Bennett says, Nat Turner reminds us that oppression is a kind of violence which pays in coins of its own minting. He reminds us that the first and greatest of all gospels is this, that individuals and systems always reap what they sow. When I wrote this biography of Nat, I tried to tell his story with empathy and accuracy. Through the technique of dramatic narration, I wanted to transport readers back to Nat's time so that they might suffer with him and see the world of slavery and the Old South through his eyes. That way, they might gain melancholy insight into what it was like to be a slave. They might appreciate Nat for the complex, paradoxical figure he was, a man capable of love and hatred, doubt and thundering visions, sensitivity and messianic rage. They might understand why Nat finally chose the sword as his instrument of liberation, and why he set out to fulfill the injunction in Exodus that "Thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning." By placing Nat and his revolt in proper historical context, I hoped to convey how the insurrection shocked the slave South to its foundations, exacerbated sectional tensions, and pointed the way to the Civil War 30 years later. I also included an epilogue about my pilgrimage to Southampton County in 1973. In it, I sought to demonstrate that a good deal more goes into biography than reading documents and books in a library. The epilogue has an artistic purpose, too, for it attempts to show that past and present really are a continuum. In fact, the last scene of the epilogue circles back thematically to 1832 and reveals a sad truth about the durability of human prejudice. In 1832, a Virginia newspaper editor, in defending gradual emancipation and colonization over immediate manumission, argued that whites could not overcome their racial hostilities overnight. In the epilogue, I quoted a Virginia banker who said the same thing in 1973. I also noted what little Virginia officialdom had then done to commemorate Nat's rebellion. Since 1973, things have gotten worse. The local historical marker about Nat described in the epilogue, a sign that once stood along Highway 58 in Southampton County, is no longer there. And the old homes that figured in the rebellion, the ones I visited in 1973 and wrote about in the epilogue, are gone as well. Clearly, Nat Turner is not someone the local and state establishments want to remember. Yet Nat's spirit is still alive in Southampton County, in the legends and folklore of local blacks. I like to think that Nat also lives in the fires of Jubilee, and that this is one of the reasons the book has remained in print. On the wall of my study, I keep a likeness of Nat, along with photographs of John Brown, Abraham Lincoln, and Martin Luther.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?